This essay is about Jack and Owen, my two grandsons who live in Indianapolis, and this goes. Jack is now 6 and Owen is 4. When Jack was about 3 years old, I was down there and I was teaching an online class in art history, and I was sitting here in front of my laptop, and he came past and he saw a picture of some famous painting. What's that, Papa? What's that? And I told him, and that sufficed it. And so he toddled off, and 15, 20 minutes later, he comes back in, and another painting is up, and he wanted to know what that was. And from that day on, and this is something that I didn't understand when I was a young father of 3 young children. You get so wrapped up in the day-to-day things, and you just worrying, working, and doing things. And one of the things I wish I had done when I was younger was to listen more than telling my kids what to do and when to do it, but listen to what they're thinking about, where their head is and where their mind is. And when you're a grandfather, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. So all you have to do is sit there and enjoy your time with your grandchildren. And I'll tell you that there's a kind of a blessing to kind of relive your being a parent with being a grandparent. And now you know to listen. And Jack and Owen know that I want to go back to a memoir and interview the lady and see a bunch of my old friends. And Jack knows about that. And I was, Jack and Owen know about it, and so does everybody who reads my webpage. But I teach now. I've taught for 20 years, but in the last 10 or 12 years, I've been teaching at a college where one of the employees that oversees what I do at that school was a former student of mine who took an art history class from me. And I was in there, and her name is Lisa. If I was Lisa's parents, I'd be delighted with Lisa. But Lisa knows that I'm planning on going to Meme or trying to get an interview with the lady, Aung San Suu Kyi. And I was in there because we're going from one software package, online delivery mechanism, to another one. And I was in her office, and she was going to catch me up on how you convert from one program to another. And she's heard numerous stories about Jack and Owen. And so she gave me the new company's kind of mascot, which is a panda bear, 2 stuffed panda bears. And she said, give one to Jack and give one to Owen. When I gave them to Jack, who's 6 years old, the first thing he did was to go to his room, and I said, what are you doing? And he says, I'm writing a thank you note. He says, how do you spell Lisa? And so I gave it to Lisa, and then I went into several weeks later, a couple months later, I was going in there to do some more work on this new program. And I noticed she showed me that she had this thank you note on her blackboard. And she had a bunch of her friends or people or employees that were meeting in her office, and she was talking about how creative Jack is, and she was painting. What's interesting is that whenever Jack or Owen, they want to know what's going on in my life, and then I tell them, and Jack and Owen are drawing paintings or drawing pictures for essentially three different people in Myanmar, which used to be called Burma. One is the lady, one is for Momo, and the other one is for Titi, who is Momo's. She's now probably 12 years old. And I'll tell you, the determination that those two young children, 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, have about art and drawing. But so this is an essay about two kids and their creativity. But as I see Jack and Owen as special, but you have either children or grandchildren or kids in your neighborhood that can also be determined in their artistic expression. Pablo Picasso said that all children are born creative, but then society stomps on it. That cannot happen. You cannot imagine. You go to Jack's room, or his bedroom, and his whole wall is covered with his artwork. I have, next to my desk, I have probably a dozen of his pictures. It is absolutely amazing just how not only creative they are, but they have that drive to be creative. I hope you enjoy my essay. But that's really about Jack and Owen. But it can be also about you and those people and those kids, particularly younger children. It can be about what you can do to help them to become artistic. Jack and Owen know probably 5 or 6 dozen different famous paintings, and the artists who painted them. Jack and Owen have each of them have 3 different paintings that were their favorites. Owen, for some reason, loves anything that Van Gogh has. In his bedroom, he has 3 paintings of all Van Gogh. Jack has, the first painting that he loved was Marc Chagall's Eye in the Village. The next one was Monet's Terrace at St. Andre's. And the first thing he said when he saw that famous painting was, "That's just like your backyard." And it's a seascape that looks like my backyard has a little man-made lake. It's not quite the Atlantic Ocean, but to a 3 or 4-year-old, it looked like what Monet did. And he also has a painting by El Greco. And the interesting thing about El Greco, the painting is of a view of Toledo, but all of El Greco's figures, the people that he painted in his lifetime, were all elongated. And it's interesting to look at the note, the thank you note to Lisa, that his panda bear is exactly like El Greco. El Greco would have painted exactly the same elongated panda. So it is an exciting experience for me to live and watch them grow. But if I can do it, you can do it too. And you ought to do it. So thank you for your time. And now go out and help particularly the young kids blossom in their creativity. Take care. Thanks again.